Let's see what type of music we can make using a refrigerator. Let's import the fridge noise. Let's crop the file so we just get one pitch. I'm hearing a D sharp, but that's not registering yet, so let's try and fix that. Let's isolate the highs so we get as much of the pitch as possible. We're going to export the file. Now let's tune the pitch. We're going to open up our sampler. We're going to select the fridge sound. Let's crop the sample. So here's the original note. But here's what's interesting. The further down you go, you hear a second harmonic, a fifth above the original note, start to come in here. And the further down you go, the more that second harmonic you can hear it as opposed to the original tone. So it reminds me of an organ sound. Let's add an amp to isolate the tones. This is kind of a electric piano and jazz organ hybrid. Let's see what type of music we can make using a book. Let's import the sound of the book closing. Let's crop it. Let's EQ it to give our kick some low end. Let's import the sound of the pages. They're going to sound like this. Let's quantize the pages just so it's an even rhythm. Let's turn up our middle frequencies. Now let's export that sound. Let's crop the sample of the book closing. Pitch it down and assign it to this note. Let's pitch the pages up and assign it to this note. The pages sound kind of has that 64th note trap beat, kind of. And now our drum kit sounds like this. Let's see what type of music we can make using LEGO Star Wars. Let's import the building sound. Let's crop it so we're left with this sound. Let's cut off the high end for our kick sound. Let's export the file. Let's isolate the middle frequencies for the snare sound. This is going to be our third sound. I would cut off the low end, but there is no low end. Let's crop our kick sound. Pitch it down and assign it to this note. Drop in the comments your favorite Star Wars movie. Let's crop our snare sound. Pitch it down and assign it to this note. Now let's crop the brick sound. Pitch it down and assign it to this note. Let's add some reverb. Final drum kit sounds like this. Let's see what type of music we can make using Call of Duty. Let's import this sound. I'm getting a pitch at the beginning, so here's what we're going to do. Let's crop the file so we're just left with the pitch. Let's tune the sound and use just this section here. Let's cut off the high end. Thank y'all for the continued support in this series. This is episode 82. And as usual, if you have a sound that you want me to try to make music out of, let me know in the comments. Let's crop the file and set the root key to G sharp. Let's add a distortion plugin, but this time, instead of distortion, let's use overdrive. It's clipping, so let's add a compressor. Now the clipping is gone. Let's add some reverb, and now we have an organ. Let's see the type of music we can make using Super Mario Bros. Let's import the Mario jump sound. Let's crop the file. There's a pitch, so that means we can tune it. If we tune this to one note, it sounds like this. Let's isolate the middle frequencies. Let's export the file. Let's crop the file and set the root key to A. Let's take this sound, play it 2 octaves lower, and we get this. Let's run it through a distortion plugin. Now it sounds like this. Let's run it through an amp. What preset do I want? Let's go British Clean 2. Now I can play Metallica. Let's see what type of music we can make using Minecraft. Let's import the Blaze spawn sound. Let's crop the file. Let's cut off the low end. This is going to be our hi-hat. Let's crop the Blaze hit. Turn the volume up. That's going to be our snare. And we're going to repeat the process for the Blaze death sound. My next big goal is getting 4,000 watch hours, so go do me a favor and watch some of my long form videos. Let's pitch down the kick and turn down the length. Repeat the process with the snare. Same thing for the hi-hat, except we're going to pitch it up. Add a compressor and some reverb, and here's a drum kit. Let's see the type of music we can make using Team Fortress. Let's import the Team Fortress critical sound. I was supposed to do this yesterday, but I thought the TFT stood for Titanfall and not Team Fortress. Let's cut off the high end for our kick. Isolate the middle frequencies for the snare. We're going to use that sound again for a hi-hat. Thank y'all for the continued support in this series. It's episode 90. And as usual, if you have sound you want to try to make music out of, let me know in the comments. Let's pitch down the kick and turn down the high end. Let's pitch down the snare a little bit. Let's pitch down the hi-hat and turn it down. Okay, so the hi-hat sounds more like a ride cymbal, so let's import the hi-hat again. Pitch it up and turn down the length, and now we have this sound. Let's pan the ride cymbal to the left and the hi-hat to the right. Let's add some reverb, and the 808 sounds like this. Let's see the type of music we can make using a sync. Let's import the sync faucet sound. Let's crop it so we're left with this. Let's add a compressor. Let's add a gate. Thank you all for the continued support in this series. It's episode 113. And as usual, if you have sound you want to try to make music out of, let me know in the comments. We're going to turn down the length and pitch it down. Here's our kick sound. We're going to keep the snare as is, but we're going to turn down the length a little. We're going to pitch up the hi-hat and turn down the length. Add a compressor, and here's our drum kit. Let's see the type of music we can make using Roblox. Let's import the Roblox death sound. This is just a way higher version of the Minecraft death sound. There's a pitch, so let's go ahead and tune it. The tuned oof sounds like this. Let's stretch the ooh, now we get this. Let's crop the file and fade it out. Thank y'all for the continued support in this series. This is episode 85. And as usual, if you have a sound you want to try to make music out of, let me know in the comments. Let's crop the file and pitch it down an octave. Let's add a compressor to smoothen out the volume. Let's run it through a bass amp. Let's run it through another compressor just so nothing clips. Let's add some reverb, and now I got a bass. Let's see what type of instrument we can create using Legos. I bet y'all weren't expecting a new intro. Let's import the Lego sound. Let's crop the file so we're left with this sound. This is our kick sound. This is our hi-hat. And we're going to keep the snare as is. If you have a sound you want me to try and make music out of, let me know in the comments. I actually just opened up a subscriber page on Instagram if you want to subscribe to me. Let's pitch down the kick. That beat sounds like this. Let's crop the hi-hat. Let's pitch up the hi-hat. Here's the groove so far. Let's add a compressor and some reverb, and here's our drum kit. Let's see what type of music we can make using a plastic cup. Go dogs. Let's import the plastic cup. Let's crop the file. Let's go ahead and export the cropped file. Side note, if there's a sound you want me to try and make music out of, let me know in the comments. Let's make our kick all low end. Let's turn our volume up. Now let's export that file. Let's assign that to this note. Now let's turn the volume down on the regular cup sound. Let's add some reverb. And now we got a rock kit. Let's see the type of music we can make by breathing. Let's import the breathing. Let's turn up the clip volume. I feel like I'm in a yoga studio with all this breathing. Let's cut off the low end. I actually got asked to go to a yoga studio. And I believe my exact response was, namaste at home. Let's crop the file, and let's export it. Let's crop the first breath sound and pitch it up. And let's assign it to this note. Let's pitch down the second breath sound. At this point, I don't even know what the kit's turning into. Let's cut off the lows again. Let's add some reverb. I feel like now I'm a part of a 1930s jazz band.